everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to the Dice Tower. Welcome as I continue to go through my top 100 games of all time as per 21 years ago in 2005. And I take a look at them and see where they are today. So I'm going to give you a bit of a spoiler today about the 10 I'm going through. This is 80 through 71. Not a single one of these games ends up on my list today. Now, when people look at that, they're like, well, how can games have fallen so much and out of your top 100 over 20 years? Well, you know what? When I was a 20-year-old person and when I was 40, well, I made this list, I guess, 20 years ago, so I was 28 when I first made the list, and now I'm 49. Your likes and changes changed quite a bit in that time frame, so I don't feel that bad about it. And every game on my list today, well, I shouldn't say every, but most of the games on my list I've played in the past few years. I still like these games. They just fell off the top 100. And many of them led to other great games, too. So let's get started here with number 80. So number 80 is China. So China here, this is a game actually. China was it was a remake of another game called Web of Power from Michael Schock, and it was actually remade recently by Awari. This game here. I've not played Awari. It came out in 2020. I know Z played it and liked it. China is one of the games that I actually have kind of faded on. It's a game that doesn't look particularly good necessarily, just these houses and these little power things that you put out there. China Web of Power are basically the same game with different maps. But I did like it. There was an area control plus area control mixed with area control type situation going on. And it worked for me a lot 21 years ago. Today, it's okay. I wouldn't be opposed to playing it, but I'd rather play another game instead. That was my number 80. Number 79 is Camelot Legends. Now, Camelot Legends, I remember, this is one of the first games, it might even be the first game ever played from Andrew Parks. And this game has like old school artwork here. You can see this. They went and found some big name artists to do it. This is also, I believe, I don't remember if it's the first game or one of the first games I ever played from Z-Man Games. So they had just come out. And the concept of Camelot Legends, where there's these big quests you go on, and you're placing knights next to it, but the quest requires something, and each knight would have a list of things they're good at. You can see here on the side that he's a 5-4-3-4-4-3. That's the stats of that particular knight. And they also have special abilities, and you play them, and you're trying. It's kind of an area control game with cards. I don't think this game has aged well either in how it looks or even how it plays, but I did have a lot of fun playing it, and that's why it was my 79. It lasted till 2008. It was 98 there, and then fell off the list. Next, we have Wildlife. Now, Wildlife is a Wolfgang Kramer game that is a fairly... You got to remember when this came out, there was very few Euro games that are mean. There's actually very few nowadays that are mean. But this is an area control style where you have a type of creature that you are, and you're trying to control the earth and moving around cards and stuff. It's a very cool game. It's a predecessor of many more modern games, I would think. But I thought it was interesting. I enjoyed it. It was on my list till 2006, so just 2 years basically, where it was 89 and then fell off. But I remember this one. I'm the Boss. It was only on my list 1 year. That's first year at 77. I like I'm the Boss, and I still like it today. You can see my rating there. If you've not played I'm the Boss, this is a game from Sid Saxon. In fact, other than Can't Stop, it's probably one of his most famous games. I'm the Boss is a negotiation game where you're splitting a will, and you're trying to figure out who has cards to play so that you can split each of these pieces of inheritance. But someone can play an I'm the Boss card. Now they're in charge of the inheritance. So it's a negotiation with some take that. It's not very modern mechanisms, but the negotiation stuff is a lot of fun. This is a 94 game. So this is a pretty old game. It's one of the last games Sid Saxon designed, but I think it is a solid one, even though it was only on my top 100 list for a single year. Then we have Aladdin's Dragons. Aladdin's Dragons is from Richard Breese. It is one of the key games. It was originally Kingdom, and even now, the newest version here is Kingdom's Dragons. This came out in 2022, and I've not played that one. But I have played Aladdin's Dragons, and I really like the theme of this game. This is a worker placement game where you place some workers, you play them face down, so people know where you're placing your workers, but they don't know the value of them. and then you'll flip them over, and whoever has the most value in his spots will take these gems, which look like chiclets and things at the bottom. Then you spend these different gems to get the treasures at the top, which is how you get victory points, beat the guard, other things. This is a pretty good rollicking time. I believe it's still in Chris's top 100 games of all time, and I still think it's a solid game. For me, it was on my list till 2009, where we last saw it at 131, but it's still a game that I would play today, especially if someone said, I've never heard of this game. I'd be like, hee, I get to show you it now. Then number 75 is Reifenbreite. This was on the list for almost 10 years. It was the last seen in 2014 at 90. This only fell off the list because there are just a lot of great racing games out there. But Reifenbreite, which is a pretty inexpensive game if you go buy it in Germany, is a bike racing game. This is what it looks like when you start. You all control 4 bikes. You then roll dice, 2 dice, and that's how far the bike moves. What? That's an old mechanic. But the bikes behind you can draft with you. You have a card you can play instead of rolling a die, and you get the combined score of all 4 of your bikes. It's just very entertaining. I'd love to see a more modern, remade version of this one a lot. I just find it to be a lot of fun. Like I said, it was on my list here till 2014, where it fell off at 90, but yeah, it's a good racing game. Very good. Number 74 is Big City. This was on my list till 2008, where it was 96. Big City recently came out with the Big City 20th Anniversary Jumbo Edition. This is one of the last games that Mercury Games put out. But Big City, I remember the first time I saw it, I was in awe. Look at that. You have to realize when this game came out, there was almost no plastic in games, and it was miniatures. It wasn't buildings. And this game, you're putting up buildings. You are bidding on different properties and adding them out there. It's a little similar to Chinatown, and then there's just different ways to score. There's a little metro train that's running through everything, and I liked it. Why is it not in my top 100 now? Well, because it's been replaced. To me, this is one where Foundations of Rome completely replaces, or Foundations of Metropolis completely replaces Big City for me. It was a good, cool game at the time. And the designer, Franz Benedalong, this is not the only game of his on this top 10 we're talking about, did a good job on it, but it's just, there's better games, that's all. Number 70, that was number 74. Number 73 is Manila. Hey, same designer, Franz Benedalong. This is a game that was on my list till 2008 at 96. And honestly, this is one, I think we just did a list of games I'd love to see a 2.0 of. I missed this one. It might be my number 1. I love this game. I played it so much when it first came out. There are some flaws in it. And this is basically a game where you are betting on which boat will make it down the river. You're betting on how many boats will make it down the river, if they'll make it down the river. And then there's a share system, which is a really wonky scoring mechanism. The scoring is not as good as the game, because the game is basically like playing roulette. You know, you're putting things down as you bid, and then you race these boats down the river and see what happens. That's super fun. I love to see this one remade. Like I said, there's a few minor problems that keep it from being on my top 100 now, but I really liked Manila. Then number 72 is a game I still play every once in a while. It was on my list till 2013 at 96. And it has a chance of always coming on and off the list. This is Dragon's Gold. The original Dragon's Gold game looked like this. As I said in my last 10, this is the Blue Box series. This is the most successful one. It has been reprinted many times. In this one, you have a bunch of these gems, and they're guarded by dragons. You will play cards to kill a dragon. The dragons always die. Once a dragon's killed, everyone who helped kill the dragon splits that treasure in 1 minute. In real time. You may not use past negotiation. You may not negotiate future. You need to split that stuff up. And if one person doesn't agree, then no one gets anything. And that makes for some really tight, tense games. I'm like, that gold's worth 3 points. That silver's worth 1. And whoever has the most green, blue, and purple get points. So I'll take the green, blue, and purple. You can have, and there's a big back and forth on this. It's very entertaining. I like it a lot, but it is a tense game, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I enjoy it a lot. And then finally, number 71 is Serenissima. This one came off my list because this is one of the games that I liked a lot at the time, but the mechanisms felt a little dated. Here you have these boats, and you're traveling these boats around, and you can see on these boats the little blue things. Those are sailors on the boats. So the more sailors you have, the faster that boat goes. but also the more sailors you have, the less room you have to put up goods. And so you're running around picking up goods and delivering them and also fighting each other. Terrible components. It has these flags that are stickers that you have to put around and fold together. Oh, that gives me shivers just thinking about it. The boats moving around were cool and everything looked neat, and it was very, very enjoyable. This was a game that gave me a lot of joy when I played it, but as time went by, I was like, yeah, it's kind of flawed. The combat also just rolling a bunch of dice to see who wins, but I have a lot of fond memories of it. They did make a second edition of it, shown here in 2012, that I don't believe, did I play this one? I'm trying to remember if I played it or not. Yeah, I did, and you can see my rating then was a 6. It just didn't hold up as well. Better components to some degree, but still basically that same concept of picking up and delivering and fighting that just wasn't as spectacular to me years later. But I have fond memory. I still remember the first time I played this, I was very wowed by it. So those are 10 more games, folks. Thanks so much for joining me. I want to say thanks to many of you for watching the show and supporting us, and I hope that you continue to do so. We'll see you next time on the Dice Tower. I'm Tom Vasel. Hey, thanks for watching another video here on the Dice Tower. We really appreciate you stopping by and checking our things out. Thanks so much for joining us today. And hey, if you really like what we're doing here at the Dice Tower, then there are different ways to support the Dice Tower. One of those ways is through Patreon. We have links in the description to this video, and we have links to lots of other things we do down there, so definitely check it out. But either way, we're glad you watched us. Tell your friends about the Dice Tower. Until next time, though, I'm Tom Vasel, and I hope you enjoyed this video.